Guys, I can't find my light. I can't. Like, I'm not gonna look as beautiful as I do in my other videos. Then guess what? It's like every time you try to save money, you can't. You always gotta spend it. I'm telling you. So yeah, I don't have my light, and this is how y'all gonna see me. And guess what? Then I'm gonna have to buy another one. We already established the whole mic issue. This is the third time. I know the audio doesn't sound good because the mic ain't really gonna work. I got it. Cause so yeah, but what's up, ladies? What's up, gentlemen? Ladies and gentlemen, y'all see the title. Let's get it. As a kid, I never was really watching no baby stuff. And I really thank my parents because at the age of 5, I got my own room with my own remote. I was watching everything. A Thousand Ways to Die, Teen Nick. I was not watching no kid stuff. Let's go.
My son is almost 2 and I've been letting him watch Cocomelon, but now I had to get him speech therapy so I can get him to talk. There are hundreds and hundreds of anecdotes in which parents mention the exact same problem. The Cocomelon show is so insanely addictive, it's being compared to nicotine and causing developmental issues amongst the kids who can't stop watching. Children's TV expert Jerica Sands calls it the most damaging show a child can watch, explaining the sneaky ways in which they make the show addictive.
See? Exactly. And I keep telling y'all this too, right? Because look, when I'll be watching my little cousins, right? When I'll be watching them, babysitting them, I tell them too, I'm like, hey, y'all with me. Y'all with y'all big cousin, y'all can do whatever you want. I'm not going to tell your mom what you doing. But because I just lied to them. I'm like, hey, stop before I tell your mom, and then you're gonna get whooped. Then they just stop. But as for watching the TV, I don't really care. But I'm not gonna let you watch no kid stuff. You feel me? Like last time we was watching R. Carly. We was watching R. Carly and a little bit of anime. But they not watching no kid
Firstly,
stuff.
there's the colours. Take for example the wheels on the bus. The 3 main colours, blue, green and yellow, are all at maximum saturation, meaning they cannot be made any brighter, no matter how hard you try. Extreme saturation is normally used for alerts and notifications, as it's exciting, dynamic and attracts attention, which is why it's also used in slot machines. Cocomelon puts these colours in perfect contrast, making them appear even more vibrant, which is different to, for example, Bluey, in which the colours instead blend together. Cocomelon's also different because it's highly repetitive. There's a reason they have 38 videos with over 1 billion views. A child's brain is wired to learn through repetition, so it feels right to them to watch the same thing over and over again. Cocomelon abuses this in almost every video. For example, in the Yes Yes Playground song, they pick a word to repeat 3 times in every sentence, pairing it with a subtly repeating background lullaby, keeping children hooked. Literally no show or movie puts my son into a deep trance the way Cocomelon.
That's what I was telling y'all too. It's hypnosis. Parents, I get it. You signed up for this, right? You want to have a kid, our kids. Hey, you're gonna have to go through that stage. Now, the top 3 worst stages of growing up and parenting your kid: potty training, the crying stage, and the acting like they grown stage. But we're not gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about the first one. So, listen, right? They like toddlers or they babies at like 3, 4. I'll say, hey, y'all vote for me for Mr. President. By the age 3, no kid not watching no baby stuff. And like parents, I get it. You want to have yourself some fun time, some me time, because they cry all day and they sleep all day. But don't let them watch this. Instead, let them watch something else with some subtitles so then they can learn how to talk to and read.
Cocomelon does. The second it's on the TV, he turns into a toddler zombie who doesn't see or hear anything else that's going on in the room. This is only exacerbated by Cocomelon's subtitles, which have also been a heavy point of criticism. The letters are not educational, I can barely read them fast enough. It's simply another interesting element to capture your little one's attention. Cocomelon explains in every description, our goal is to help make learning a fun and enjoyable experience for kids, giving you the peace of mind that your children are receiving quality educational content. But people have argued that they're teaching exactly what children shouldn't do. For example, in the No No Bedtime song, the baby refuses to brush his teeth, have a bath, put on pajamas or get in bed. The education is that he eventually agrees to do so, yet a TikTok user was critical, stating, anytime I'd ask my son to do a simple task, he'd say no, no, no. He's sitting there watching Cocomelon, which taught him no, 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 and to say no.
Well, the thing is, that's just the thing about a parent. Like I tell you, the three worst stages is potty training, them trying to act like they grown, and the crying stage. Now this is the trying to act like they grown stage, right? They talk back, but they don't really know what talking back means yet. So that's why you gotta tell them like, hey, no. Do I believe in discipline? I don't even know. I don't know. But if you take away that tablet, hey, they're gonna learn. They might cry a long time, but they're gonna learn. And hey,
No to me. On the topic of education, Jericho-san stated, these people don't give a shit about our children. They care about money. That's it. Your child's cognitive development in direct exchange for their wealth, and there's pretty good evidence supporting this. A New York Times journalist visited Cocomelon's studio, discovering their number one focus is keeping children hooked. Cocomelon's data and analytics team sifts constantly through YouTube numbers to determine exactly what resonates. Should a girl wear black jeans or blue jeans? Should the music be louder or softer? Should the bus be yellow or red? Yellow is the answer, as they use a darker method to ensure that they're correct. Cocomelon has a dedicated Distractatron room, in which once a month children are brought here one at a time and shown a handful of episodes to figure out exactly which parts of the shows are engaging and which are tuned out. Next to the TV playing Cocomelon, there's a second screen which plays a continuous loop of banal real-world scenes. A guy pouring a cup of coffee, someone getting a haircut, each lasting about 20 seconds. Whenever a youngster looks away from the Moonbug show to glimpse the Distractatron, a note is jotted down. We can see what...
this is just like boot camp. This is literally torture. It literally is. It literally is. It's literally torture. I'm not gonna say sue because you're not gonna win, but why would a parent allow a kid to go through this? And then what? Okay, so after they done, what do the kid get? Some candy or something? Or they might not even get nothing.
Can see what they're looking at and the exact moment when they got distracted. Therefore, education clearly isn't the primary goal. Keeping kids' attention is, and this is proven by Cocomelon's most addictive element, rapid camera cutting. It's crazy how many times the frame changes on Cocomelon. It's the same type of addicting behavior that we experience on a TikTok binge. It's the quick change of frame that releases that dopamine and makes the videos addicting to watch. Count the seconds between a change of frame. Well, TikToker the Circus Brain did exactly this. He firstly counts the changes on My Little Pony, concluding there's about 6 seconds between each cut. He then compares it to Cocomelon.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1.
In her video, The Nightmare That Is Cocomelon, Savantix draws a similar conclusion. She found that 96% of the shots in Baby Shark were shorter than 2 seconds. She then compares 4 different animated shows, again finding Cocomelon has the shorter shots.
The longest shot on a Cocomelon video was 6 seconds. The longest shot on Arcane was 8 seconds. The longest shot on Bluey was 27 seconds. And the longest shot on Encanto was 18 seconds.
Which, when combined with every other element, creates some terrifying statistics. Dr. Kristen Summer explained that when showing an infant normal video content, they'll focus on the screen just 11% of the time. However, when the videos instead switch to Cocomelon, their screen engagement skyrockets to a whopping 74%. This therefore produces stories such as this. I used to volunteer for a preschool and they had song time. A Cocomelon video came on, and all of the tots stopped what they were doing, put down their cheese crackers, and remained fixated on the screen for the duration of the video. It was honestly kind of terrifying. YouTuber Saberspark shared his own personal anecdote. He asked to watch a Disney movie with his two younger cousins, who both completely refused, and instead spent all day glued to an iPad playing the addictive show. In Cocomelon Made My Kid a Zombie, a mother talks about her son. He would be in a daze while watching it. You could be waving your hand right in front of his face, and he wouldn't move. It was almost scary. This was also discovered by Sarah Mills 98, who explained when the Cocomelon addiction is so real that my 1-year-old can navigate the TV to turn it on by himself.
See? Parents, I just told y'all, alright? If you want your kid to be very smart, don't let them watch this. Alright? And I know what I'm talking about. Alright? Listen. I birthed a generation, right? I created catchphrases, but guess what? Y'all not gonna know. Y'all don't know like the old me. I created so many catchphrases. I birthed so many people. And I have kids. But like I just told y'all, listen, if you want to have a little me time, don't turn that on. Turn on something else. Because that's absolutely insane. Because guess what? So say, boom. Oh, okay, look. Just like I was in Target, right? It was this lady. She was with her kid. Boom. Because you know how kids get when they get stuff taken away from them, screaming in public, acting crazy, and then the mom was like, shh, stop. But it didn't work until you gave him back the phone, and then he started being quiet now. See? Don't do that. Psychological effect, boom. If he crying, ignore him, he gonna stop. Because most of the time they gonna cry, they don't even know why they crying. They just do it. Just to do it.
However, nothing shows the addiction better than the Cocomelon TikTok trend. Parents will play the show's intro loudly and video their kids sprinting toward the television, where you can witness their mood change instantly. The New York Times journalist found something similar. The kid in the Distractotron had shown up in the midst of a tantrum, which ended the second he heard the Cocomelon theme song. It was no surprise to Wheeler, the head of research. 99% of kids, he said, if they're having issues when they get here, once that Cocomelon song comes on, they're like, life is okay, all is good with the world. Obviously, there's a reason for this. Cocomelon is so hyper-stimulating that it actually acts as a drug, and what happens when you take the drug away. Young children experiencing symptoms of addiction and withdrawal obviously
like
leaving them completely dysregulated. TikTok user ThePoff1 filmed what happens when you take the show away, explaining he'll be inconsolable for at least 10 to 15 minutes after, adding in the description, Cocomelon meltdown is legit. Once you have a taste of the cocoa, it's hard to break the addiction, which this Reddit user had experienced even worse. My husband and I have been worried about our child. I can slowly see how she'd throw violent tantrums at home and in church whenever she'd get bored and would want to watch the show. Her behavior changes the moment she watches the show, and she will not even eat her meals if she wouldn't watch it. After these tantrums end, kids can experience a general discomfort in the speed of everyday life. The more they watch the show, the more their brain begins to expect this intense level of stimulation.
Basically, Cocomelon overstimulates their brains so much that everything else just seems slow and boring in comparison.
However, the potential consequences get much worse than this. As mentioned at the start, it was the cause of a child's speaking problems, with a notable reply reading, "Same thing happened with my daughter too. She's 4 but can't speak properly. She knows the words, but she does not like to frame the sentence or speech. She has been watching these Cocomelons or such other stuffs for 2 or 3 years. says, "Hope we're not too late." Over on Reddit, a speech-language pathologist explained, "Screen time in general is linked with speech delays for a variety of reasons, but Cocomelon is excessively bad. Firstly, unlike other TV shows or movies, it doesn't have a story. It's just very short clips with poorly written songs. The kids aren't able to follow the plot, learn vocabulary, and see the resolution of a conflict, supported by infant specialist Meg Fora."
And the problem with fast-paced TV programs is we find that little one's language development is slower.
On the Agents of Speech YouTube channel, this is again confirmed.
The main problem with watching videos on the internet is that they don't know how to use the language that they learn.
But he adds that 4 to 5 hours of screen time per day can make a toddler completely non-verbal. 4 to 5 hours is obviously a lot of time, but in Cocomelon Made My Kid a Zombie, researchers discovered that 5-year-olds who watch more than 2 hours of TV a day tended to have lower attention spans and were 7.7 times more likely to show symptoms of ADHD. These screen times might be even lower for Cocomelon specifically.
I mean, but what could you do? You can't sue them. But they're the biggest. They're the biggest YouTube channel on the platform. What you gonna do? You gonna go on a strike? Hey, you think you gonna win? The only thing I can advise you is just to not turn it on. Like I said, when I have more kids, they're not watching this at all. And you know that my wife not gonna put it on. Or whoever I'm dealing with, they're not gonna turn it on. Because if you turn it on, I'm just gonna turn it off. And if you turn it on again, I'm gonna turn it off. And we're just gonna keep going back and forth until the remote break. And I know some parents are watching this. I mean, there's nothing you can do. You can't sue them. They're going to still make a living. They're going to still make the money. Just don't watch it. If your child is already addicted to it, do an alternative. I'm not going to suggest Miss Rachel because she uses that hypnosis too, even though it do quiet down. And because look, this is the thing. When your kid is too quiet, something's going on, right? So if they're watching the Cocomelon for hours and hours, or Miss Rachel for hours and hours, like, you did all the stuff you wanted to do. You had your fun time. You read a book. You read the Bible. You prayed. You took a nap. You worked out, all in the span of 2 to 3 hours. And guess what? As soon as you walk out of that room, your kid is still watching that. That's when you know it's too bad. And you got too deep. So now you have to do reversible damage for that to start. I would just suggest let them watch like a painting thing or a coloring thing and just have the titles on.
Specifically, because as explained by Jerica Sands, not all screen time is created equal. A child who just watched 30 minutes of Cocomelon and a child who just watched 30 minutes of Trash Truck will look like a very, very different child. Thankfully, here lies a simple solution. Sierra Renee explained, "My 2-year-old is speech delayed and addicted to Cocomelon. Switched to Miss Rachel 2 days ago and he's already saying more words and hasn't had any tantrums." Kim.It shared an almost identical anecdote. My 8-month-old was obsessed with Cocomelon and having bad tantrums, so I cancelled Cocomelon and only let her watch Miss Rachel, and she said her first word within the first 3 days of watching. Clearly, parents are able to simply change the channel, but not before leaving Cocomelon a massive amount of dislikes. They've therefore earned the title, "The Absurdly Popular Kids Show Parents Hate," and Cocomelon has actually responded to the criticism that explain our shows are not intended to replace outdoor playtime or playdates. They have a place in children's entertainment time, and as with food, exercise, etc., it comes down to each parent to find the right and appropriate balance for their children.
Yeah, well, that may be right, because you got to realize they just animate the show. Like that's just like me telling you to watch this whole video, and you just addicted to my videos, but you're not doing nothing else with your life, right? I love you supporters. I love everybody who do that. But what they're saying is, hey, we get our money, we make our money, we be in the studio creating this, we get paid, y'all kids watch us, we repeat it again. We not suggesting y'all to make them watch us for hours and hours. Because guess what? Everything is good in moderation, right? You can't eat McDonald's every single day. Your heart gonna stop within 3 years, right? You can eat it once a week, once a month. That's good. But I get what they're saying. And then you know what? You know what? Really, what I used to hate when Nickelodeon would make us force us to go outside for 60 minutes to play. And I'm like, wait, what's wrong with the TV? Until I got a little bit older, then I'm like, wait, I could just turn the channel. That's it. But yeah, I kind of agree with that. Y'all are the parents. Limit the time. Just like, hey, the internet is a scary place. Don't have your kids on here for too long. Don't have them on the phone at night. It's too scary. No, nobody can. Because once you in, you can't get out. So yeah, I kind of agree with them. Because like you the parent, and I know I'm yapping because I'm out of breath, and y'all know when I get out of breath, I'm gonna have to hurry up and catch my breath. So that means I'm about to start this real quick. Basically, that's really all what I'm saying. Yeah.
Our responsibility is ensuring that the quality of the content that we produce is high and beneficial for the development of a child's cognitive and soft skills. It is worth adding that our social media communities are filled with stories of parents who experience firsthand how Moonbug content helps their children. Cocomelon does have a crazy amount of supporters, but it's obvious that some of them are simply ignoring the downsides. My baby learned the alphabet and numbers from Cocomelon. She may not speak a complete sentence, but she expresses her wants through phrases. But is it Cocomelon's responsibility to ensure that babies are talking? Well, no.
No.
People love blaming cartoons and games for raising children, and not the shitty parents that don't step in to stop them from watching so much.
Yeah.
Cocomelon is actually a really sad symbol of parents giving their children tablets instead of actually parenting and interacting
Basically,
with them.
what I just was
Ultimately,
yapping about.
parents are the people who choose how much their child.
Basically, what I was just yapping about. See, this whole video is to throw dirt on Cocomelon, right? Even though, hey, it do got some cons, but it do got a little bit of pros. The only pro is they're just a YouTube account. That's it. Hey, man, ladies, bring it in. I love y'all, and I really hope that y'all actually are hugging me back, because that's gonna be real rude. My fellas shake my hand and dap me up. And I hope that y'all shaking my hand too. Y'all know I love y'all though. And I hope y'all love me. That's it. That's really it. There's nothing else to say. That's it. I'm done. I don't even know what else to say. I'm out of breath. Yeah. And like I say, I don't have my light, so I'm not gonna look as beautiful as I do in my other videos, but I'm gonna try to have to buy one. That's it.